the squads are too big. Initially, for example, before a World Cup, a manager has to name, I don't know, I think it's something like 28 players, something like that. And then he reduces it down to about 23 at the beginning or before the beginning of the tournament. So I never quite understand the point of that unless a manager wants to look at somebody, but then he would have done that. He or she would have done that, shall we say. So, and I think this is one of the problems. As I say, last night he made 10 changes in terms of the starting 11. There were no substitutes in the first half, and to have an England team Friday playing actually not particularly well, but possibly more like the first England team, the first team in his mind, I don't know, to a totally different team, maybe like the second 11 in some cases, not in all cases, because you've got Harry Kane still playing and others who are first teamers. But I think this is the problem. When we used to talk about your friend Gareth Southgate and his antics, but we know he got to the final, didn't he? He got to the final of the Euros, and he did very well to do that, even if some of us questioned the way he did it. But I used to say, if I were the manager of England, I'm not saying I'd do it well or great, but I would play the basic team that I had in my mind probably for 3 months, 4 months before, at all the friendlies, all the games leading up to the tournament, so that team gets used to playing with each other. You tweak it with substitutes, maybe 3 or 4 substitutes, changes if you need that many, and so on. But because these squads are so big, even the final squad is about 23 players, I think, 22, 23 players, then I think almost by definition, you're going to be choosing some people who are on the periphery of it, who are not quite international standard. And I think, I'm not going to name players last night who I thought are not international standard, because any one of them could have been having an off night, and probably was, and many in the team perhaps were. And I don't see some of those players regularly, like I see my team Crystal Palace players. So, but I think there's too many players who go into a squad, and therefore a manager is almost bound to give them all playing time, minutes, as they say, when they have get-togethers, sometimes usually around a couple of friendlies. And he's going to think, well, I've got to give everyone a chance. If I was disappointed last night, he brought on Ivan Toney, who I think is in Saudi now, which is, I think, a shame, because he was so good as a goal scorer with Brentford, wasn't it? And he brought him on at about the 87th minute. Okay, there were 5 minutes second. But if anyone, I think, because he played, once Harry Kane went off, he played without a central striker. And I thought that was the perfect time. I mean, who am I? But bring on Ivan Toney. I mean, he's travelled to be with the group. I think he deserved a bit more than that. So, but anyway, there's 1,000 football managers out there who, like me and you, who we can do a better job, we think, than the manager, and that's obviously not the case. But it wasn't a good performance. And I suppose in these early days, Tuchel he's looking at the players, he's seeing who he thinks are the best players who are going to be in his team, and sort of from there. But it wasn't it was a sort of performance that looked like they'd not really played together before. And this is one of the problems. You've got too many players. Maybe they're all champing at the bit to become the first 11 in the manager's mind, and they won't all be the first 11. And we all know you need a squad system, as in the Premier League. You need probably 16 players, but I don't think you need more than that. Okay, if there's a bad injury before a tournament, they should be replaced. But I think 11 first teamers, 5... first 11, and we all know you need a squad system, as in the Premier League. You need probably 16 players, but I don't think you need more than that. Okay, if there's a bad injury before a tournament, they should be replaced. But I think 11 first teamers, 5 substitutes, and it should be probably much better because they'll all be used to playing with each other. But what do I know? You know, I've said this for a long time, but it doesn't seem to make any difference.
No. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at 2 players last night, and they were both playing on the same axis of the pitch, and it was Karl Walker and Saka, and I don't think those 2 blend very well.
No.
I didn't see that last night. You know, like you said, players could be having an off day, you know, on the pitch, and and we might not see their performance or not be able to judge them properly. But last night, Karl Walker and Saka, I think they were the weak link. Both of them were just not. They were not working together. I can understand that Karl Walker's got a lot of experience behind him, you know, where, you know, but that experience didn't come through last night. It didn't. And I've always thought about, all right, so the last Euros, I looked at Karl Walker's performance, and to be honest, I don't think I'll be the only one to say, you know, he could do without Karl Walker in the England squad. I thought that. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah.
But then it sort of confirmed it for me last night when I saw them. I saw the 2 of them playing, and I thought, you lot are not playing. You're not. There's something missing. There's something missing on that on that side that they were playing on. I know it was a friendly. All right, so, you know, there was a lot of experimenting going on, but that doesn't excuse the fact that these are world-class players. All of them, they should readily be fighting for a shirt, really, because that's what he's done yesterday. He's saying, all right, go, convince me of, you know, you can keep your position in the first 11. In my first 11, you know, Tomas Tuchel's first 11, but I don't really see. I didn't see. All right, apart from Harry Kane and obviously Jude Bellingham, I didn't see any. All right, so Eze was good. It was really.
It was.
It was.